Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can implement NextAuth authentication into your Next.js 14 project. And of course, our project will be utilizing the new app router. And here on the right side of the screen, you guys can see the NextAuth documentation. It's basically the auth provider provided by Vercel and Next.js. And this is the application that we basically did in the last video. So we have a simple social media feed where we can just add posts. And so in our application, we have already connected the database and we have this model for the feed post. And in this video, we're going to continue on from here by implementing a register form, a login form, and then the functionality for the authentication itself. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a model for a user. And here inside our model of the user, we can just provide it with an ID, of course, and then we'll just provide email and a password for the user. And now we can also create a relation between the user and the feed post. And we can do this by adding a user ID field here in the feed post. And then we, of course, have to provide this user with a feed post list. Like that. There we go. Now we can just hit save and npx Prisma generate. We will stop the application and npx Prisma generate. Now we can just npm run dev again. And now our next step is to create the register form. So we can go right here into our app and create a new route for register. We will also provide it with a page. And then here on this page, we will implement our register form. So here on this page, we will just create the register form page. And then here in the UI, we will create a component for the actual register form. So here, let's put like register form. And here in our register form, let's just create a basic form here with the text register. And remember here at the top, now we have to actually use the client. Oh, this needs to be just a default function and then just use the client, hit save on that. Then we can come back here and actually implement a register from our UI. Hit save right there. And to make things easy, we can come back here into our home page and create the button or the link for the register page. Hit save on that, and then we can just click here on the register. And as you guys can see, we are in the route register. Perfect. Now we can implement the form itself. And now we can actually implement a register form that we can see here on the right side of the screen. So first, we have to import our use state. And for that state, we will create an email and a password field. And then we will add some styling to our div right here, and also had a onSubmit function and some styles to our form itself. And then within the form, we'll just quickly add a register button. And after that, we can create the password and the email fields. And these fields change the value of the email and password themselves. After this, we can create the handle submit function. And within this function, we'll just create a try catch method. And within this try catch method, we will create an API request to our API/register route. Don't worry, we haven't implemented this route yet, but we will implement it shortly. And after this, if the result is okay, we can just clean the form. And in case of an error, we can just return the error. And there we go. Now we can save the file and we can see that there is a register form here. Now we can actually implement this API/register route. And to do that, we can go here into our app, create a API, and then inside the API, we can just create a register folder. And here within our register folder, we can just create a route.tsx file. And within this route file, we can just export an async function for the post request. And then we'll also import our Prisma from the database and our next response. And also we will require bcrypt. Then inside our post request, we will create a try catch method. And first thing, we'll get the email and the password from the request body. And then we will hash the password. And the hashed password we will actually store in the database in the prisma.user, which we created here in the Prisma schema earlier, right here. And we'll also provide the email for that. After that, we can just return next response that the user has been registered successfully, and if not, we will return an error message. And now we can just hit save on that file, and now we can actually go and try that if this register form works. So basically, we can just refresh our page right there, and now we can just try to put some random email. Let's just put random.mail.com, and then password as random. Register. And as you guys can see, we have a error, can't resolve bcrypt, and we have to npm install bcrypt. So let's install that. Now we can try to restart application. And now let's try that again. So let's just put random.mail.com and then random, hit create. There we go. We at least don't get any errors. And then we can just check from our MongoDB database. And then we can just check our MongoDB database right here. And as you guys can see, we have here a user schema and we have a successful entry of a user right there. So everything in the register works right now. And next we will start implementing the login. And to do the login, we will create a new route here in the app called login. We will create a page for it. Now we will basically do the same thing as with the register form. So we will create a login page, and then we will create a new UI component called login form. And then within this form, we will just create the login form and import it right here. And now again, we can try if this works. So let's just create a basic form, and then we will just import it here into our login page. And then we can just again go here into our main page and create a route for the login. Login. Hit save on that, and then we can just go into our route. And here we have a button for the login. And there we go. So the route is working, and now we can actually implement the login form itself. And now the first thing we will do is that we will npm install NextAuth. And after that, we can just come back here into our login form and implement our login form. So first things first, we will import the use state and sign in and use router. And after that, we will create the form. We will create the handle submit function in there as well. And of course, the corresponding fields. So for the email and the password, and of course the login button. And then we'll also create a state for an error here. So if there are invalid credentials, the user will be notified. After that, we can just implement the email and password and error states, and of course use the router as well. And after that, we can just handle the submit. So create the handle submit function, and within this function, we will create a try-catch method. And within this try-catch method, we will do the sign in with the credentials function. So this is basically imported from the NextAuth/React. And after that, if the result is an error, we can show the error state for the user. And if not, the router will reroute the user to the front page. And if there is an error, the user will be notified. Now we can just hit save right here. And then we can just restart application. And let's just refresh the page. There we go. Now we have a nicely finished login form as well right here. And we still have one more thing to do. So we have to basically implement this sign in function right here. And to do that, we have to go here into our API. And then here within our API, we have to create a new folder called auth. And within this auth folder, we will create another folder with ... NextAuth, and then a closing bracket. And then within this bracket folder right here, we will create two files. One will be called options.tsx, and the other one will be called route.tsx. And now we can go here into our options.tsx file. And within this file, we will import Prisma, NextAuth options, credentials provider, and bcrypt. And in this file, we will create the auth options. So we will create providers and especially the credentials provider. And this credentials provider will have a function called authorize. This function will have a try-catch method inside, and it takes email and password from the login form as parameters. And with these parameters, we will try to find the user with the email from our database. If the user is not found, we will return null. If the user is found, we can compare the passwords. And if the passwords match, we can just return the user. And if there is an error, we will console log it and return null. And here at the end, we will just provide the session strategy, the secret, and the pages. And as you guys can see, we have this NextAuth secret right here. So what you guys want to do is save this file and go here into your env file and create the NextAuth secret right here. And if you guys are planning to use this application in production, please put something else than secret right here. It really should be a secret. And after that, we can just restart our application as we change the env file. And after you have restarted your application, we can go here into our route. And within this route, we will just basically export the auth options that we created in the options file. Save that right there. And now we can actually try if our application works. And to see if our application actually works, I will provide a bonus for you guys. So we will create a navbar here quickly. So let's just put navbar.tsx right here. And within this navbar, I'll just copy and paste a complete navbar. This code will be in the description down below in the GitHub, so you guys can take a better look. But feel free to implement this yourself. Maybe like pause the video. I can just scroll through this right now here quickly. But basically, the reason why we did this is to actually show that the user is logged in, or if it is not logged in, and also provide the sign out function right here. Now that this is implemented, we can just go here into our layout file, and here in our layout file, in our body, we can just quickly modify this a bit. Here in our body, we will just provide the navbar here at the top. Hit save on that. And now, as you guys can see, we still have one error to resolve. And that error is that we need to wrap, the use session must be wrapped in a session provider. So to do that, we can just go here into our app folder, create a providers.tsx file. And within this file, you guys can just copy and paste this one. So the auth provider. And after that, we can go here into our layout file. And within our layout file, we will actually wrap everything around that. And that basically looks like this. So we will just provide the auth provider right here from the providers, hit save on that, and there we go. Now we have a fully functional navbar as well at the top, and make sure to actually use this auth provider even if you're not using the navbar, because this is the one that actually provides the session. Now we can just make sure that everything works. So we can go here into our login page, and let's just get the random.mail.com and with the password random, login. And now you guys can see that the random.mail.com is logged in. So now we basically have everything resolved from the login and registration and stuff like that. And even you can just log out, and after logging out, you guys can see there is no user logged in right here now. And yeah, this is basically it for this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below what you want to see next, and of course, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!